Hey everyone, Nashi here. In this video I'm going to be going over the skills and add-ons for the Pre-Awakening and Awakening of the Maywell class. I'll also be going over some detailed aspects of add-ons and how they function together with skills in terms of buffs and debuffs. Um, but I also want to make note that I will have other videos coming in that will be about combos, cancels, weapon swaps, tips and tricks, and a number of other things. So keep a lookout for those and check those out if you're interested in those. Alright, so for skills, you want to basically make sure that you have all your passives. Um, every passive that's available to you, go ahead and get those. It includes Precise Martial Arts, all our melee attack, maneuver training for evasion, your Infinite Mastery because that gives, 2% attack rate, as well as all that HP built up. And then of course the monster damage for PvE grinding. On the rest of the pre-awakened tree, it's pretty much you grab whatever you want to use, but the main ones that you want to have are Blind Thrust. You can have that all the way up to 3, otherwise 2 is okay. I would recommend 3 because you just get a large amount of crit. Um, and you don't even have to actually connect with the mob or the player in order to get that crit, so it's really nice. Nemesis Slashes are pre-awakened heal. It's very useful, very good. You can even use this in pre-awakening when you are under 58 before you get Cloud Stab, so it's pretty useful and necessary to have. Maywell's Will, max that out for obvious reasons of getting extra WP when you need it most. Chase, get that maxed out to ultimate so you can cancel it. All the other items you don't really need. You can do Dragon Bites and Dragon Claw, Ultimate Dragon Claw. You don't really need Lunar Slash, but you can get that as well. That's just for pre-awakening grinding. Once you hit 56 and higher, you won't be using this anymore. So I'm not currently using it, so I took all the points out for more useful things. Red Moon, you want to max that out for PvE. It's your biggest clear speed skill, so pre-awakening it's going to be very useful, and even in your early awakening levels it'll be very necessary until you get to 58. Blooming is more of a PvP skill. You will need this if you want to do some of the combos I'm going to be showing, but overall not really necessary per se. It's just more of a filler finishing blow kind of skill that I use it for. Cyclone Slash, you don't really need it. I just have it to represent the quick slots available and don't actually ever really use it. Stub Arrow, you can get Stub Arrow 2, but you might as well get 3. 3 is very useful. Just gives you more shots. Also to note, Stub Arrow, the rank 1 and the triple are on separate cooldowns, so they both have a chance to stiff. So that's pretty useful to know. The Charge Stub Arrow, I got this for a cancel trick that I'll show, but it's not really useful in PvP, so it's not necessary at all. And that's it for the pre-awaken kit. Going on to the awaken kit, basically grab everything you can. Everything in here is useful. Some people don't max out the training. I did because I like to use it, and each rank is not only additional damage, but also increased attack rate or hit chance. So it's very useful for that because it causes a float if you do the forward attack, which I'll get into later. But yeah, all the skills are necessary. You want to max them out as soon as you can, depending on whatever level you are. So that's the skills right there. And then to go into the add-ons, the 3 awakening add-ons I have are Pedal Drill, being defense and attack speed, which is pretty standard. It's cookie cutter add-on build. The Moonrise, which is PvP attack and I currently have bleeding, but normally I wear crit. I'm just testing out some bleed effects, stacking bleeds, which I'll get into here in a second. Stigma at level 60, I picked this up as the last one, being crit rate and pain damage. And this is very useful. We use Stigma all the time to try to land a CC, so being able to land a CC with it and then start your combo with 30% extra crit rate is very useful. Then the pre-awaken add-ons, we have Stub Arrow. I got the accuracy and the negative movement speed to my target. Accuracy for me, negative movement speed for them. If I connect with it, I want to be able to hit more often, so it makes it a very useful thing. It's enticing to use for the accuracy if you have an opportunity to. And the negative movement speed on your target is pretty useful. Red Moon, I have PvE damage to monsters, and of course attack speed. That animation is very long, so the sooner you can get out of it, the better. And the last one for pre-awakening add-ons is my PvP damage and my attack speed as well. It has a very long recovery rate on blooming, so being able to get that move out of and recover from it really quickly will be very useful for you. So to kind of go over what I mentioned earlier about the bleeds, it's an interesting thing. This applies to all types of abilities, not just bleeds, but also crit rate and attack speeds and anything like that. So bleeds and pains, they can stack. And what I mean by that is add-ons they count as a separate category of ability on a skill. So they're not going to replace other bleed or pain effects on skills that have them naturally. For example, Sticky Snowflake will inflict a 50 damage bleed every 3 seconds to a target for 9 seconds if you connect with it. So that's a bleed, and then your add-on bleed right here will actually stack with it. So you could effectively get 2 bleeds going at the same time on your target. Also, this is a pain damage add-on as well, and this will also stack with those. So you're looking at, 3 different basically dots on your target that are constantly draining away at their HP every 3 seconds. So wearing down potential HP pots that they're popping is the concept we're going for here. Pedal Drill can also get a pain damage if you wanted to replace the defense, but I think the defense just outweighs any potential damage you could do with that, especially in Node Wars and Siege Wars. Other bleeds would include Phantom. It supplies a bleeding effect of 20 damage, which isn't really that much, but it's something. And I don't believe there's any more pains or bleeds in our kit, so I think that's pretty much it. We're not like Sorks per se. We can't just stack a whole bunch of bleeds and pains on our targets like they can. They have a lot, but at least you can do a decent amount of them. So it's interesting to know because that same concept applies to the crit rate. The crit rate add-on right here, this 30%, will stack with Frostpillar, for example, which gives you a 20% crit rate when used. So if I were to demonstrate this, Stigma. So we got our 20% and we have our 30%. You see those stacking right there. And to show the pains and bleeds, I'm stacking. Didn't work. Oh, nope, there it is. And then see the 2 bleeds, the pain, which I don't have a second pain, so I can only represent the bleeds. So you can see those stacking. So that's just to give you an idea of how add-ons work. They have their own separate category they fall under in terms of debuffs and buffs. So you can stack those accordingly. If you thought this video was helpful, go ahead and give a like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to leave a comment below and I'll get to them as soon as I can.